Hello, everyone. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. Happy Labor Day if you're in the US. Today is our holiday here, and everybody is, I am hoping, resting and not laboring at all. I hope this is your day off to rest from all labor. So, but welcome to Facts and Two Cents, guys. Happy Monday. Hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. If you've been, paying attention in the squad, I know you've had a great weekend, so I don't even have to ask. I know we've all been fed, as we like to say, and been very excited and having a lot of fun with our faves were out and about enjoying themselves. So hopefully, we all took their cue. If just in case you weren't having fun before, that you've taken their cue and and you've had a great weekend. And you're also having a great Labor Day. So welcome, guys. Again, welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we're a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. And oh my goodness, our faves were feeling themselves this past weekend, especially Mama Doria. I like Mama Doria was feeling herself and having a great time. I am like, you go. And I know it was also her birthday a couple days ago. So hopefully she had a fantastic time. But before we even get to all of that stuff, I'm just going to say hello to all my friends in the chat. Hello, guys. Let's see, Lydia is here. Hello, Lydia, awesome moderator. And thank you, Lydia, for posting. So if you want to get information about the fundraiser going on, Lydia has it on her yeah, so Lydia has it there. So definitely go click on this and you will get, I think, oh my goodness, I think we're over 40,000 now. And again, it's going up until Harry's birthday on the 15th. So if you want to participate in it, definitely go if you're able. Jump on it. The link is there in Lydia's post, so you can just definitely just click on it and get over there. And if you want to donate, don't worry if you can't. Just help sharing it around. That would be awesome. And if you also would like to check out the Invictus Games Dusseldorf, definitely jump over there on their page. Thank you, Lydia, for posting it. And just very important, I know Leslie F. and others that ask where we can watch, where we can if we can live stream the Invictus Games coming up on the 9th, from the 9th to the 16th. And yes, I literally just posted it in our community page. So if you haven't seen it, go over to our community page, maybe when this episode is over, when this podcast is over, if you like, or if you want to do it now, that's fine. But it's there. The link is there. You can watch it on their YouTube channel. If you are in the UK, you can also watch it on their page, their website. So either way, anywhere you are in the world, you should be able to live stream it. Live stream the games. So it'll be amazing. And so the link is there. All you got to do is jump on their YouTube, everything. So again, it's in our community page. And thank you, Lydia. Lydia is just queen of the links today. Lydia's also posted, if you want to get information on Well Child, they might be streaming it as well, so you could check out their YouTube channel. And of course, we know Harry is going to be there on the 7th, which is like in 3 days. So she might be leaving tomorrow or the day after to go over to the UK to be part of the Well Child. Please pray for his safe travels. Hi, Karen M. Our awesome moderator is here. Hi. Compton Caligal is here. I see myself in the chat. Julia Rock. Hello, Julia. Haven't seen you in these streets for a while. Always happy to see you here. I got Compton Caligal. Yep. Leslie F is here. So Leslie, you got your info for the for streaming the games. And so have fun with your friends streaming. Let's see who else is here. Yulibi is here. Hello, Yulibi. How are you? Let's see who else is in the chat. Dolores is here. Hi, Dolores. How are you? Kenitha is here, and Lottie is here, and Gerda is here. Hi, guys. Mad World is here. Black Queen, our awesome moderator, is here. Hello, Black Queen. Compton Caligal. Let's see who else is here. Faith and H Knight and Olive is here. Hello, Olive and Little Mac. Hi, guys. I see our 2 cent screws highly represented. Hello, hello. Elmade is here. Hi, Elmade. Annie is here saying hello to everybody. That's just me helping you out there, Annie. So, and all of our other friends who, when they come in, will say hello. Lady Shandy Love is here as well. So, Terry is here and Phil Benjoy is here. Hello, guys. Miss Viv, everybody is here. So, well, not everybody. More, I'm sure, is gonna come in, hopefully, and our 188 friends who may or may not be in the chat. So, welcome, guys. So, anyways, our faves are doing good. If it, judging from over the weekend and from last night, obviously, they are doing fine. It's what we prayed for. We all pray that they are happy, doing fine, doing their thing under their tree. And from what we've seen, prayers have been answered. We just want to pray that it remains that way, and those prayers continue to be answered, that they are having a great time. But oh my goodness, Beyonce, I'm telling you, that there are so many videos that's been coming up, and this guy, well, actually, even before we get there to the dancing, last night we know Prince Harry was at well, since Messi is playing, it's football, and since Harry is there, it's football, not soccer, football. As the rest of the world call it, except in America, it's soccer, like soccer. What is that? Anyways, it is football. So Miami, where Lionel Messi plays, was playing the LA. What is their names again? I forgot. That's how much I haven't really been paying attention to football in the U.S. So anyway, the LA team, whatever their name is, so it actually was a charity. I think it was a children's charity they were playing for. But in all the excitement of Harry being there, and see Harry with his two friends. I mean, I don't know who these people are. They just look rich. I don't know. Whenever guys come in all dressed in black, they just look like money, So he is there in a box over there, and then you can see in the bottom picture he's on the billboard, the screen up there, and that's the thing that you can always, whenever Harry and Meghan go someplace like this kind of, they always end up on those screens, and the one thing that's never there is booing. People in the US love these two, and so which can't be safe for the others. But here he is on the screen, the big screen up there at the game last night, and Major League Soccer, actually, they tweeted about it. Let's just move my little brand there so I can read it properly. There we go. And so Major League Soccer tweeted, it says Messi dropped 2 dimes to lead Inter Miami CF to a 3-1 win over LAFC in front of Leonardo DiCaprio, Selena Gomez, Prince Harry, and more. So, and they had like this list of celebrities, I guess they had advanced that they were coming. And so Meghan was on the list, but obviously Meghan wasn't there. I guess this was a guy's night out, so Meghan wasn't there. So Harry was there enjoying himself, having a great time. There was a video of him talking to Will Ferrell. There's another video of him with his security coming into the stadium, and also there were another video of him, and I think I posted these all in our community page. There's another video of him waiting outside the dressing room, and then eventually allowed into the dressing room, I guess, to meet Messi and the other teams. And so we don't have any pictures of that unless one of the players, I guess, posts a picture or something. We don't have any pictures of him in the dressing room, but he was waiting right outside the dressing room and with all the security guards and all of that stuff. And it's so funny. And Harry is just like, he walked in like a rock, and I saw Andrew was just like, yeah. Hero Harry was given a rock star welcome. The host were saying that Prince Harry is a legend. Yeah, there were these 3 hosts that were talking about the games, and they were all so excited that Prince Harry was in the house, and they were like, what if Harry would have come over here right now? And I guess there was a British guy among the announcers or the presenters for whatever channel that they were presenting for, and they were like, do you feel, more at home now that Prince Harry? He's like, well, I met him before. And, so they were all like imagining if Prince Harry would have come over to them. And so it was just very funny how Americans just love this guy. They just like embrace him as one of us here. And it's really, really wonderful. Just the kind of reception Harry gets. Even when he was walking in, people were like, Prince Harry. It was just wonderful. And, there was a video of him meeting Will Ferrell. And again, I'll post all of this stuff in our community page. I don't know what's copyrighted and what's not, and I don't want to get a strike on any of this stuff. So I'll use the photo, which is fine. But the video stuff, just check the community page. I post some of them in the community page. So that way you can, if you want to take a look at them, that way it's safer. I don't have to deal with getting a strike from YouTube. I don't want that. I don't have any strikes and I want to keep it that way. So, Church Nelly, our awesome moderator, you've been in a Tucson Screw for 12 months. Thank you, Church Nelly. Thank you so much for your support, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like marvelous Monday and happy Labor Day. Good afternoon, pedal. She called pedalets and squatties around the world and beyond. Hello, Church Nelly, and all of our wonderful, wonderful squatties in South Carolina. Thank you so much for supporting the channel for that year and beyond. I mean, you've been supporting from the get-go, so I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Church Nelly, for that. But again, yeah, so Prince Harry had a good time, and I'm so happy he's able to just relax and just do fun stuff because, again, couple of days he's going to be in the UK and dealing with that nonsense. Well, he doesn't have to deal with that. It's just the stuff around, with the press and all that stuff. But he is simply there for the Well Child Award. So that's it. And who knows if he's even spending a day there. It's probably just going to be there and then fly out straight to Germany then. But it's going to be a lot of work, obviously, because, again, he's hosting the games. And, as founder and patron, there's a lot of anxiety and pressure and nervousness. Like, his video said, he's excited but nervous. So all of that is in there. So I'm glad he's able to have some fun, go to a game, hang out with the guys, and also shake his groove thing at Beyonce. I'm telling you, these videos, and even one of them came out today. This guy, and I swear to you, if Meghan and Harry ever need content, if they say, for example, they go back on social media for some reason, and they need someone to be their guy to do their content, I'm telling you, this guy or somebody just like him would be a person. He just loves them. He loves them. And, all the videos he was sharing, it just was like, just with such love and just sharing their love. And he is just good at content creating, man. I was just like, shoot, I got to learn from this guy. He is just good at it. And so him and his husband were there. And so his husband was saying that, that he is just good at spotting celebrities and stuff like that. And so they were in a box right or a booth, private booth, I guess, or the private suites, I should say, right next door to Harry and Meghan. And so I'm sure you guys have probably seen the video of him like screaming like, oh my gosh, Harry and Meghan are right next door. And so from then, he would give us all these videos of Harry and Meghan and then panning to Beyonce and Harry and Meghan. And the videos are just the best. Like the one I posted today was the one he posted earlier this morning. And it's just this is the first one where we see really, and he, if you could, I guess, where is it? Oh, the bottom picture where he kind of titled it, When Crazy in Love Starts Playing and the Spirit of Beyonce Takes Over Prince Harry. And it's hilarious seeing Prince Harry, like, I mean, it looks like Beyonce's spirit just took over him for like a couple of seconds. And it's just so perfect. And, it was just, and I love what, the captions that he would give on each of his videos. And, sometimes two and three captions as the action is happening. But I just love it. And one of the things he his TikTok handle and his actually his Twitter handle is that's classy. I think it's, yeah, that's classy. And so on the picture on the right, it says, "If this ain't love, I don't want it." And this is a video he posted earlier today. And throughout the video, they were holding hands and dancing crazy in love. And then Harry went to go over and get a drink, and he wouldn't let go Meghan's hand. So he's in the back grabbing his drink, and they're still holding hands. And it was just like, oh. So that's what he's like, if this ain't love, I don't want it, And on the top second one is when he realized that they were next door to Harry and Meghan. So just in case, I'm sure you guys, if you've listened to Duchess of Success or Baron over the weekend, and I haven't been on, so I haven't had a chance to listen to their podcast over the weekend, but I'm sure you've seen some of these. So, but for some of you who haven't, and like me, hadn't had a chance to listen in on Baron and Duchess of Success, and others, I'm sure those are the two that I, basically listen to. I mean, I'm sure, but if you haven't, here you go, And so I just love these pictures. The one in the bottom with Harry just sort of going down. I mean, it was just like hilarious to watch that video. It's in our community page. I posted a link in there. So definitely take a look if you haven't seen it. And of course, the picture top right is Mama Doria just feeling herself. And for me, this is like the picture of the year. You don't need another picture. Mama Doria is just feeling herself and just like having a ball. And, it's like, I even tweeted about it, like, pay no attention to the two in the back who was sitting there kissing. Mama Doria is in front of them, and she is just like, the world is mine. It's my birthday, and everybody, again, we're in silver because Beyonce requested silver. And so when Beyonce requests you do something, you just do it. It's kind of like Oprah. It's like, you don't ask questions. You just, Beyonce wants silver, so therefore it's silver. And I just love these pictures. And of course, everyone has seen these pictures, especially with Meghan at the bottom there, shaking her groove thing in that video, and also by Classy. I mean, Meghan was shaking her tush. You're like, you go, Meghan. Not a care in the world. They just have fun. I mean, talk about the spirit of Beyonce. It's like you look at the first two picture at the top. That's the one that was posted early, that Classy posted earlier, with Harry with his hand in the back there. And he was like, ooh, look at Harry. And then at the top, he Classy is like, Harry said, hold up, let me turn up. Where's my drink? It's like Harry's going for his drink in the back of them and still wouldn't let go of Meghan's hand. And it was just like, oh, and that's when he posted, like, if this is not love, I don't want it. And there's also a video with Meghan, just both her arms, one video with both her arms around his neck, and the other one, both her arms around his waist. And he said the same thing, it's like, this is love. Like, if you don't hug me like that, I don't want it. And so it's like kind of like he's basing his whole idea of love on these two. And one of the things that's really funny about him too, he's been trolling the British press the entire weekend, because they were dying to use his photos. And he's like, no. And so he has been trolling them. And so obviously derangers have come after him. And so he's just laughing at them, And so it just is really, really funny. I'm like, again, if Harry and Meghan ever decide to go to social media, which I don't really want them to, because, the mess that's out there, if they go on a safe place, like, for example, Spoutable or something, or one of the social media platforms that their people are creating, like they funded all of these organizations to create a safe space on social media, especially for kids. And so it's just like, maybe one of those, but it's just really, really, really cool. Let's see, hang on. Oh, Little Mac is saying Pedal Matt was there with his husband. Yeah, his name is Matt, but his handle is That's So Classy, and that's classy. And so it just is really really funny because yeah, his trolling of the press, like they're all like, can we use your video, can we use your video, and he's like, no. Turns out he knows that crazy one, what's her name, who pasted her, who photoshopped her face onto Megan's engagement photo. What's her name again? I forgot. Like it's so funny. I blocked out these people's names because it's like, I blocked her, she blocked me. I was just like, whatever. Sydney or something like that. Her name is. I don't remember what her name is, but it turns out they know each other. I mean, they're all both in LA, so they know each other. And he had given her permission to use I guess one of his videos, and so she used it on one of Rupert Murdoch's channel, the one that Pierce Morgan is on. And so I don't know if he's gonna, because now Kinsey, thank you, Kinsey Schofield, um, she's the one that posted photoshopped her face onto Megan's. So I don't know, because then Squatties told him, kind of what she's been doing. So whether he, renege on that and pull it away from her or not, I don't know. But it's just, for the most part, and he even requested, like, if you see any of the British press using my videos, can you let me know? Because so that's one of the reasons I decided to not show his videos, because he may have copyrighted them. And if it was me, I would copyright all of these. And so because there's one of them, I think it is from Beyonce team, maybe, I don't know, or I don't know if it's a fan club or maybe one of her team, but they're the ones that put out the Meghan dancing video. That thing has now, when I looked at it this morning, 17 million views, and I'm sure it's much higher than that right now. It is just incredible. Yeah, it just like, I'm like, and that's just the Megan dancing, when she's like shaking her groove thing. 17 million views. And I'm like, wow, that is the kind of reach. And that's why the British press are so scared of them, because they know their reach. I mean, Meghan and Harry, they don't have to do anything. They just have to go and do what they do. And so Leslie F says, he came out with a statement and he said, he is not friends with her, nor did he give any British tabloid permission to use his videos. What I understood from his statement is that he said they know each other. I don't know. She said they were friends. He didn't say they were friends. He said that, what I understood is that from what he said is that they know each other. And so she did use it on Rupert Murdoch's channel. So I don't know if he's going to, ask her to remove it or not use it again, whatever. But she did use it because I saw a clip of it, and she did use it on there. And it's these, of course, when the first pictures came out, Harry did look like one of those guys, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my wife dragged me to this thing, which most guys are like that in the first place. There's also a photo of LeBron James looking exactly the way Harry looked. You know how guys are when they want to stay home and watch football, and their wife dragged them to the clothing store because she needs to try on something, and he needs to sit there and be the person to help her decide what outfit and you've seen those guys, and they're sitting there, and the wife is like that, it was one of those things. So that's kind of what Harry, when I saw the photo, I was like, oh Lord. And so the British press were running with that, like Harry didn't want to be there and all of this stuff, and he looked miserable, whatever. But more and more, as the videos kept coming out, it basically has silenced them, because they can't say anything, because they see all these different videos with them having fun and hugging and taking selfies and the whole bit. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? So, Donna says, Miss Harry has to have a few drinks to loosen up. I'm telling you, it took him a minute. It's like, you look at LeBron James, and somebody showed a photo of this actor. He was the actor who was in, what is that shades of 50 shades of gray or something. I forgot what his name, Jamie Dornan or Dorman or whatever his name is. Him, Harry, and LeBron James were at the concert, and they all three looked the same way. I was like, yep, that's husbands at a Beyonce concert. And then Harry, I mean, then you obviously you see the photos later of him dancing and Meghan hugging him, and then this one where he was just literally like, whew, this, and that's why Matt titled it "When the Spirit of Beyonce Took Over Harry." I mean, it took him a minute, but the spirit hit him, and so it's just wonderful. It is just, I mean, I just loved it. And just seeing their freedom, just hanging out, dancing, and it's so funny when I saw the photo of them in the back, hugging and kissing the back there, and then Mama Doria, in the front with her hands up, and she is just like, "I own the world." In my heart, I felt like, Diana, you don't have to worry. Mama Doria's got your boy. She has got your boy. You do not have to worry about Harry, and it was just like, my baby's in the back there doing whatever they're doing, and they're fine. And and I mean, I love it. And of course Abigail, and then this other couple that I've seen them before. I don't know who they are, but but they all seem like they had such a great time. I'm just like so happy for them. I am just so happy for them. And Fu says, imagine hero Harry still kept his commitment, and next day still kept his commitment the next day at the charity football match. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. But anyways, talk about charity. Yes, the game last night was for charity. I think it was a children's charity, because there was a video of Messi taking a bunch of photos with kids. So I think lost in all the excitement of the celebrities that were there, because a lot of them showed up because obviously Lionel Messi is there. And so lost in all of that was that the game was a charity event, which stands to reason Harry would be there for that. And Shirley, hi Shirley. Shirley says it's now 19 million views. I'm telling you, 19 million views of Meghan shaking her groove thing. That's the power. That is the power. I mean, when was the last time we actually heard Meghan's voice? When was the last time? It was in New York when she did the speech, and all that stuff ensued after. But that was the only time really for the year we've heard from Meghan. And this is the guy, she literally has to do nothing. She just walk and dance, and 17 million views. Amazing. Giving Twitter a whole lot of traffic. Let's see. Just staying in the chat for a minute. Let's see. Traditionally, Pedal doesn't like cussing. Oh, wait, somebody's cussing in the chat. Don't you cuss in the chat? Wash your mouth with soap and water. No cussing. Let's see. Kim Peachy says, loving this commentary. Harry was on protection mode like he always is when he's with Meghan. Harry has mentioned this before, and he becomes very serious when out and about. Love their love. Yeah, you see that very clearly, because some people is like, oh, when he's hanging out with, say, Nacho or with the guys, he's very much more happy and just free and relaxed. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't have to protect them. He doesn't feel, but because of all this stuff that happens when Meghan is out and they're crazy people, Harry just, it's his military is just natural. That's his instinct. He's very, very protective. His nature is, and then you add in the military in aspect of that. It's a natural instinct for him to be in protection mode. So that's where he's like, when you're in protection mode, anybody who's done security for anything, it's serious. You're not there to joke around. It's like especially when your family, your wife and kids are there, you're scanning the crowd, you're doing all of these things to make sure that they are protected, that no crazy person is around you. And so yeah, Harry is definitely, you can see when he's in protection mode. So, and then when he just I guess had a couple of drinks and the spirit of Beyonce hits, there's nothing that you can do when the spirit of Beyonce hits you, apparently. You just gotta dance. And I just love it. I mean, it's what we prayed for, right? We just wanted them to have fun. We wanted them to just be enjoying their life. We wanted them to just be living life to the full, whether they're in, whether we see them or not, and just know that they're just, a regular, normal husband and wife, just being husband and wife and parents. So yeah, happy to see they had a fun time on their date night. So what else is happening? Obviously, on the 7th, coming up in 3 days, and well child, of course, it's like in 3 days to go. We're not counting, but 3 days. 3 days until we welcome our winners to the Well Child Awards in association with GSK. We cannot wait to share their inspirational stories and celebrate their achievements. And of course, Prince Harry will be there as he normally is there with them. And so, yeah, so very excited. We're very much excited. And again, I think they're probably most likely streaming it on their YouTube channel. So definitely check it out over there as well. Actually, I don't think did I put that link in the show? I don't remember if I put it in our community page or not, but I will do after. So yeah. So we're, in a couple more days we're seeing Harry, and then in a couple more days after that, we're gonna see him at the Invictus Games, and in a few days after that, we'll see Meghan. Yes. So I mean, look, my thing is, with all of this wonderful stuff, we have no excuse to be, tweeting nonsense from the British press about the Sussexes. We'll have no excuse because we have too many things with the games. We have too many things to be tweeting about, to be worried about what those crazy people think about our faves. They are irrelevant. They need our faves for food. Our faves do not need them. Therefore, we don't need them because their narrative about our faves is not important. It is not necessary. They are not needed at all in any sense of the word, as this weekend has shown. It took one YouTuber, TikToker to totally shut them down and really make fun of them and make them look stupid. One. And again, this guy is so good with content. I'm telling you, if they ever need a content person, that's or somebody just like him is who I go, because he adds the humor, the fun, the excitement, and he just gets everyone engaged in his content. And I mean, that is a skill. This guy is just good. And so I was just like, wow, you know, and so, and it's just, I think it's wonderful. So yeah. Let's see, what else you guys saying before I move on? Ruth says Nissan Harriman TED Talk. Meghan did the intro and Shutter Island freaked out about her hair. Oh, I know. Oh, the straight thing. It's like they are weird. They're just weird. But again, insignificant people do insignificant things. Let's see. Well, hello, Gracie. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. So, what else is going on? I love Patrick Adams. Patrick Adams was, or at least half Adams, as he calls himself on Instagram. He changed his profile, and this is what. Well, actually, let me move myself there. And this is what his profile says on Instagram. It says, "That guy from that show you're watching on that app, because that girl married a prince. Or that girl married that prince." And I love it. I absolutely love it. And of course, we know Suits, him and Meghan, they're on Suits. And so, but I absolutely love it. So, I'm assuming they've kept their relationship. Obviously, we know they were all at at Meghan's wedding. And so it's funny to see even now, it just dawning on people that this Meghan is who married Harry. You should see like oh my gosh, I am just putting it together that Rachel is now married to the prince. Really? It's so funny to see when it dawned on them and they're like freaking out on Twitter, then they're just discovering that their Rachel is married to Prince Harry. And it's so funny for squaddies to be like, yes, welcome. It is just just the funniest thing. But yes, people are still discovering that Rachel is Meghan, and Meghan's actual name is actually even Rachel as well, as we all know. But I love it. I mean, I'm assuming that they all have stayed close and stayed family. I know, obviously, Abigail was with Meghan at Beyonce's concert as well. So plus like I'm like a gazillion celebrities. Oh my goodness. Everybody was out for Beyonce. So yeah. And that stadium, man, goodness. Grievances, there was a lot of people. And that's not even all of it because obviously because of how the stage is situated. Behind the stage is empty because there's no site there. And so just, where the people, it was just like, oh my word. I don't know how you perform for that many people. I would be so scared. But it's so great to watch her concert, especially with little Blue Ivy. I'm telling you, little Blue Ivy has grown up before our eyes. I remember how people were laughing at her first performance. And this is like a child. This is like an 11-year-old child. People were literally laughing at this child because it's her first time she's on stage dancing, and now her dance has become the dance of the summer. Everybody and their mother is doing Blue Ivy's dance, and so now she is a crowd favorite, and you can see how surprised she is sometimes. I mean, it's like the innocence of this child. And man, she looks just like her mom. It is just so wonderful to see this little girl grow up before your eyes. And I love that Beyonce has allowed her to be on stage with her and work, because it's like teaching her from that age the kind of work it takes to do what she does. And now she's gonna learn work, to have to learn her work habits and what it takes to rehearse and do all of those things. Like, things are not going to come to her for free. She's learning that she has to work, and she's learning it at that age. So you imagine when she is 20 something, she's not going to take anything for granted, because now she has that kind of experience. And we know the kind of work Beyonce puts into her performances, the kind of rehearsals and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, this is an education Blue Ivy could not get apart from doing, being there, and to be able to do it with her mom. It's just so, and you can see the pride in Beyonce's face. It's just like, my little cub. And I'm so happy to see that they allowed her to do it. And now girl is killing it on stage. You should see kids, I mean, just really get all up. Even adults are on, social media doing beyond little Blue Ivy's dance. And it's just like, you go, Blue Ivy. So yeah, but I just think it's wonderful to see her grow up and just be able to experience that as a child. Man, that must be something. But anyway, so moving on from all of this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news, we're going to jump over the Shutter Island for a second, because this is important. This has nothing to do specifically with Harry and Meghan, but we will see. It'll come in the end. But this is something that is very, very serious. That was exposed yesterday. And this shouldn't be shocking to us, because we've talked about Black Brits, especially Black Brits, who we talk mostly about those who have been given those so-called honors, and how they are used, and how, say, the royal family use them to basically claim that there's no racism. And whenever the royal family want to claim that, oh, we're not racist, they will use those people to come and vouch for them, like the Idris Elbas of the world, and all of those who have these, Black influential Brits who have these, MBEs and OBEs and CBEs and knighthood and all of these things. Whenever they want people to, they want people to think, oh, we're not racist, they will call upon these to be their mouthpieces. And so this is another part of that, where, I guess a week ago, I guess it was, or a week and something ago, there was a Notting Hill, it's like a carnival. And so, and millions of people are out there dancing in the streets, doing, carnival things. And unfortunately, stuff happens when you have about 2 million people there. There's bound to be, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a carnival, a football game, a concert, whatever, there always going to be some crazy people doing some crazy things, and the cops has to come and do, arrest or whatever. it doesn't matter where it is in the world, what engagement or what, you know, what it is going on, there's going to be those things. But one of the things that has been sort of constant is how the press in the UK report on these kind of events where you bring together a majority Black people to these events, and how the British press, especially the Daily Mail, report on these things. And over, I think it was a few days ago, and we remember Nana Akua that won from, I can't even say it because it's like, Petal, you're gonna violate your own policy if you say that, you know, because like what anyways, Nana Akua wrote this, supposedly wrote this article for the Daily Mail. And this is what she wrote about that. And I'm not even going to go into the article because I was like, I'm staying away from the article, just focus on the headlines, you know. To call this a celebration of Black culture is an insult. And what they said about it: thugs rampaging with zombie knives, 8 stabbings, 75 police officers hurt, open drug use, and revelers urinating in gardens, and all of these things. And so basically the whole article is basically, you know, this article, this event, this carnival, this is all that it is, you know. Because again, with the Daily Mail, when they have stuff like this and when it has to do with Black and brown people, this is what they're going to blast around. It doesn't matter what other positive, again, you know, a couple of million people dancing on the streets, having fun. When you look at these headlines, this is what you think the whole thing is about. Now, I don't know if it's true that all of this stuff happened and that 75 of these officers, it's the Daily Mail. Okay? It's the Daily Mail. But when you look at stuff like this, what they're doing is attacking, you know, and notice how it says the big, bold red headline to call this a celebration of Black culture. You know, and it's like, oh, it's a cultural thing. It's not a racist, it's a cultural thing. So, you know, to call this a celebration of Black culture is an insult, because this is all that is about. It's about thugs rampaging through the street with knives. It's about hurting police officers. It's about drug use, and it's about peeing in gardens. That's what the whole of the Notting Hill is about, because that's what you take away with these bold headlines written by a Black woman. So when you see that in the Daily Mail, you're less likely to think, okay, this is racist, because why? There's a Black person writing about it. So you're more willing to give it credence that this is all it's about because it's a Black person writing about it. And she's just writing about our culture. It's not about race. It's not about the color of their skin. She's just simply writing about culture, you know? And so that's what happened over the weekend. And so obviously people are up in their arms who've been to the carnival. And it's like, you know, it's not, yes, they, again, with any of those, look at, just all you have to do is look at you know, England soccer, and, you know, all you got to do is look at that and see. It's like, if any of these big events, stuff happens because there are going to be crazy people. Those things are not acceptable in any sense of the word. I'm not saying any of this is acceptable. But to brand an entire parade or the brand an entire carnival, this is grossly unfair. Is grossly unfair. Where yes, this may be part of what happened throughout, you know, the big festival, but again, with millions of people there, what, you know, what is the good things about the festival when this is the headline you're getting, you know? And we know from different articles that people don't read past the headlines. This, they're gonna see this and it's like, yep, those Black people, that's their culture. They're all, you know, basically about stabbing and hurting officers and peeing and, you know, and urinating all over the place, you know. And so again, it gives this, because it's written by a Black person, you don't think of the racist element until you see something like this. And I don't know if others have covered this. You know, again, I haven't seen the other podcast. So if you didn't hear about this, this is what's happening. If you don't know who this person is, Dominique Samuel, let's talk about Nana Akua. Dominique Samuel is one of these Black reporters in the UK who was also on GB News. And she's one of those that always is, again, negative about Black people. and she's on, basically denying racism and the whole bit. She's, very in the conservative area, party, I guess. He claims she's not conservative, but when you're being in, you're working for a quote unquote conservative, right wing news channel like GB News, and you're writing for, right wing Daily Mail and others, like, what exactly do you want people to call you? So she's one of these reporters, and so when she saw, there's the big hubbub going on about, how the Notting Hill Carnival was being written about, she went on Twitter a couple of days ago, and this is what she said. The outrage fest about Notting Hill Carnival is tiresome and, to be honest, manufactured. I was asked, and very important, I was asked to be the face of a ghostwritten negative verging on racist piece by the Daily Mail paper last year, and eventually turned it down because it was a complete misrepresentation of what I witnessed while I was there. The violence, etc., that happened is, of course, not acceptable, but it's estimated that 2 million people attend the festival every year. Very important here. She's saying, I was asked to be the face of a ghost-written article, negative verging on racist piece by the Daily Mail paper last year. And I eventually turned it down. And it was just like, what? Somebody at the Daily Mail, presumably a white reporter, wrote a negative piece about the Notting Hill Carnival, and they approached her to put her name and her face on that article about this. And everybody's like, what? Now, if you are a squatty, this doesn't shock you. This does not shock you, because we've talked over and over and over again about these Black reporters in the British press, basically, especially when, on channels like GB News or writing for the Daily Mail, attacking, especially attacking Meghan and all of these things, claiming what she's experienced is not racism and all of these things. We've talked about these people. And so to see her admitting that the Daily Mail is paying Black reporters to put their face and their name on articles they did not write, presumably written by white reporters. It is, just when you think like the Daily Mail, that they're in the basement of a cesspool, you realize the basement of the cesspool has a basement. And there reside the Daily Mail. And there reside those Black reporters who have done this, because if they're approaching Dominique, and again, to think of where you must be for them to approach you as a Black woman, to put your face on an article that is, attacking your people, that speaks volumes about what they think of you. That they feel okay to approach you to sell out your own people for money, so that they could continue attacking your people, which is what she said they approached her first. She said, I eventually turned it down. That means she was thinking about it. She really considered it. She said, I eventually turned them down because it was a complete misrepresentation of what I'd witnessed while I was there. And she goes on to say, and yes, of course, it's not all celebration of Caribbean culture. Some people use it for their own means, which is a far cry from celebrating Caribbean culture. But the fact, very important, but the fact I was called up to write that piece, and then this year again, there's this routinely pumped out effort to give it negative press, just smells of a divisive agenda. So they called her up again. This was last year when she said no, she turned them down. They called her up again to write this negative piece about, the Notting Hill thing. And so she's like, no, you know. So she didn't end up writing this piece, as we just looked at. That was written by Nana. And so she goes on to say at the bottom, she says, the fact, and this is again, she's talking about, you know, her experience with the Daily Mail. The fact I also had to insist to write my own article and not have it written by someone that sounded like they were 3 times my age and never attended a carnival in their life was equally concerning. So there she is as a guest editor. You know, they called her up to write an article and then promptly told her, well, yeah, what we want to do is use your face and your name. It's going to be written by someone else. She had to insist she write her own article. So can you imagine the other Black people at Daily Mail? Think of all the other people who have claimed or who they said they wrote articles for the Daily Mail, like the Trevor Phillips of the world. Did Trevor Phillips really write those articles, or was he paid to put his name and his face on the articles that bear his name for the Daily Mail and others? Ones where, you know, where especially attacking the Sussexes and all of that stuff, especially attacking Meghan. Did he write those articles, or was it ghost written by one of these people and, you know, they paid him to put? I don't know. But that is a good question for me. Because, again, she's like, I had to insist. She had to put her foot down so she can write her own articles, which, again, she didn't end up doing because of this. And so she goes on to say, before you jump on the outrage bandwagon, ask yourself why some papers routinely pump out these sort of narratives and who they are really serving by keeping people divided. And she also says, you'd be surprised at that answer. And the people veiling their clear racial prejudice under the guise of culture, making repeated reference to animals when responding to videos of Black people at the carnival, actually knocked me sick. No longer going to pussyfoot around it anymore. There's some genuine racism in these spaces, and there's some genuine racism in these spaces that I've seen, and I'm no longer willing to associate with it. I'm sure nobody in the squad is shocked by this. No one should be shocked by this. Again, spaces like the Daily Mail, again, she was also at GB News. I mean, I think she's still with GB News, and so it is just, talk about racism in the guise of culture. Like, for example, the article that we just looked at from Nana. It's like, oh, this is an insult to Black culture. It's about culture. It's not about racism. It's about culture. And what she's saying here is like, and people veiling their clear racial prejudice under the guise of culture and making repeated references to animals when responding to videos of Black people at the carnival really make my socks. Therefore, I would not be shocked if Nana did not write that article and that she put her face and she basically sold her name and her face to be put in an article written by presumably somebody white. I don't have evidence for this, but hello. This is another reporter telling you she had to basically insist to try to write her an article that it didn't end up happening. But so it's not the reason people started asking her about articles that bear her name. I am Mukhtar on Twitter asked her, "Hi, Dominique. This was ghost written by, what was this ghost written for you?" Her answer at the bottom, yeah, it was. And what was the article? Dominique S'mores, this clash of the royals was about culture, not color. And this is an article where they're basically, calling Meghan a liar, that there was no racism in the royal family. It was not about her race. It was not about her color, but it was about a culture clash bearing Dominique's name on it. And here she is saying this was ghost written for her. She did not write this article. This was presumably written by a white person at the Daily Mail. As you can see, it's a Daily Mail. but she basically sold her name, took money to have, and then put her name there as if she wrote that article. And then Mokhtar went on. He says, I respect your honesty. I don't, because it's like, yeah, why is exactly she revealing all of this? Maybe rebranding herself, reading the tea leaves that the Conservative Party is going out. So she's rebranding herself for, maybe the Labor Party coming in, so she can switch and claim she was not part of that, as these people, these influencers tend to rebrand themselves. So he went on to, he said, I actually respect this honesty, but didn't you think it was odd? And she went on basically about, having to insist about writing her own articles and then paying her to put her name and her face on their articles. She says, no, it's pretty much standard for newspapers to have ghost writers for guest columnists. So you're hiring a guest columnist, but not have them write their own articles? And I would presume a lot of this has to do with race. Because why else would you need a ghost writer writing, why else would you need a ghost writer for this? Because they have their, and a lot of people were like, well, they find it odd that you would pay two people to write an article. Why would they want to, why not just have the ghost writer be the person whose name is on the byline? Why didn't you just have that? And it's like, well, it is in the Daily Mail's best interest to advance their attack on Black people. That is in their interest. And this is for them, the pittance that we know that they pay, especially people in, when they guest on these TV shows, they pay very little. I think Scobie said it was like $75 or something like that. I don't even, maybe not even be that much. So when I look at what, when they go on a TV show and they're getting that amount, I would assume guest writers on these papers get very little money. So Daily Mail, they can hire 100 people if they wanted to write, to put their names on these racist articles. For them, the racist agenda that they're pushing is more important to them than spending a few dollars on the Dominique Samuels of the world, who are willing to sell out their own people for money. They just don't want to be called racist. They want to push out this narrative, but they want it to look like, oh, Black people agree with us, so it's not racist. This is what they're doing. And then you have Black people like Dominique, who is like, oh, yeah, let me take the money and sell out my people. We have the people like Nana, same thing on GB News. And whether this article, again, her article, is at the Daily Mail. And so it's like, whether, again, I don't have evidence that she is the one that, that it was ghostwritten, but would you be surprised if it is? And here she is on her page, as a Black woman for the Daily Mail, as you can see right down here. When you see stuff like that and her face is on there, you give it credibility, and you think, well, it can't be racist because she's Black. She's just calling out things in our culture that needs to change. And so, as you can see in the top left, Nels Abbey, who's influential, I think he's a writer and stuff in the UK. He has the same question. I wonder who this was written by, because everybody's now wondering. Who actually wrote this article? Did Nana actually write this article? Or did she take money for her face and her name to be on this article? And as I said before, both her, there's Dominique over there, and that's Nana, both of them from GB News. And this, I don't think it's just these two. Again, specifically Dominique, because again, I don't have evidence that Nana is, but there are questions about her article. Because they had asked Dominique to do it, and somehow Nana ended up doing it. And again, what they wanted from Dominique is have her face and have her name on it, and somebody ghostwrite it. And all of a sudden, we have Nana's face and name on that. Did she take money to have her face and name on something that was ghostwritten? I think that is a very, very fair question. And I don't think it ends with these two. You think of all the people on, say, GB News, and the black people again that work, and write articles or claim to write articles for other um, tabloids in the UK. Is this going on again? Dominique says this is normal for ghost writers to be writing for guests, writing for newspaper guests. Are there other black people who have, it's like the paper don't want to hear from you. They don't want your thoughts and opinions. They just want your face and your name. And they'll put out their agenda on there. Are there other black reporters that engage in this behavior? For me, I don't think this is just I don't think it is just her. I don't think so. Some of those, say, other reporters paid to be silent. We look at some of them on so like their morning shows and stuff, and you have these black people there, and these white guests that come on and be as racist and condescending and whatever, and they just are mute. Some of them paid. You see them go on like the GB News, and they would put two black women there. Especially, I don't know why black women allow themselves to be put in these situations, but you see black women there arguing with each other about, Meghan, one being nasty and racist and, attacking her, and the other defending her. Are they specifically paid? And one of them recently, one used to be, at least she claimed that, I don't even know what her name is, but she claimed that she was, at least it's on her Twitter page that, she is basically a civil rights activist or a black rights activist. And all of a sudden, she would go on there and speaking about racism and the effects of racism, whatever. And then all of a sudden she started going on Piers Morgan's show. And then all of a sudden now, all she's doing is attacking Meghan. Including recently, someone posted a clip of about, I think she was on GB News, not GB News, I'm sorry, GMB, the morning show, where she was the one attacking Meghan. And if you listen to it and you listen to her, specifically, one, she has not done any research about Meghan. She doesn't know anything. She didn't make any credible argument about why she was saying the things she said. And it's very clear that she took money to say those things. It was very, very clear. It was very, very clear what her agenda was. And it just is one of those things. And again, are other black reporters taking money to be silent? I remember back in the day, a few years ago, when Meghan and Harry were still living in the UK. And I remember coming into the squad, and Tina and Michelle were really, desperately trying to get people of the UK to support Harry and Meghan. And they wouldn't. Then when I came and I joined in, I begging reporters, black reporters in the UK. I would never forget the BBC reporter who basically was like, no, reporters here are afraid to say some stuff. They refuse. I remember begging that organization where I guess, for black reporters, they are part of this organization, emailing, begging them to speak out, to say something about the racist attacks on Meghan. They all were mute. They refused to do it. My question is why? I don't think this whole thing stopped with her. I don't think this whole thing is just her. If I would have guessed, that many black reporters in the UK press, in order to have clout and to make money, have sold out their people and remain mute in the face of clear racism, or have played nice or pretended it didn't happen or tried to brush it off. Oh, it's not racism. It's just about culture, is whatever. They have taken money to be silent. And so it is just despicable. It is utterly, utterly despicable it's just like, I'm like, I don't even know what you say to these people. I don't know what, it's just like, So for me, now it all makes sense. It all makes because we talk about this all the time. Why would they not stand up? Why would they not speak out? So whether they're selling their names and putting their names on articles they didn't write, or just pay to stay silent in the face. I mean, I know, though, especially when they get these awards, those so-called honors, that silences the majority of them. They will never find them speaking out about racism. I just feel like this is another form of it, and this is how the press has done it, how the Daily Mail has done it. And you know what? As much as these people have been talking about it, the press, the British press, have been silent on the subject. It's like what they did with Dan Wooten. And it makes me think that this is not just happening at the Daily Mail. There are other outlets, there are other news outlets that are doing this exact same thing. It is just so deplorable. Anyways, moving on. We're just going to leave that on Shutter Island. You know what? Actually, let me go into. I'll stay here for a second. I'll go into chat and see what you guys think about it. Diane says, no excuse for this abhorrent behavior in both black rooms when they should have been screaming out against these tactics on camera, even if they had to pull their last, they had to pull a last minute on air switch. I'm telling you, there's no excuse. When you understand as a black person whether people are offering this to you to sell out your own people, why would you even entertain it? Why would you even stay silent for this long? And then not only stay silent, but you actually do it, because it profited her to do it when it was against Meghan. She allowed them to use her name. She sold her name to the Daily Mail to use on a ghostwritten piece attacking Meghan. I'm just like, Tina used to say, I remember on her podcast, she's like, you know what? I don't see freedom for black people in the UK. I just don't see it. And there are times when it's like, okay, yes, because, but when, now it's like, it's so much clearer how Tina used to say that. She's like, I don't see it, because she saw, she saw this stuff. And I wanted to have hope, but after a while, it was just like, yeah, she's right. And then you see this, like, yeah, she's really, really, really right. Because again, these are the people that are in the public face of black people. These are the people that are on television. These are the people that people will see, that so they have influence in the community. And this is what they're doing. It's like The Voice last year on their anniversary, anniversary article. Instead of giving that article to a black person to, to talk about whatever they want to talk about, they gave it to Charles to basically tell you why he's not racist. It's the same thing for me. These people would just sell out their own people for a little bit of prestige, for a little bit of clout, for a little bit of money. And you see it so often, and that's why we're not advancing. That is not why we are not advancing, because enough of these people with clout will take money or take a little title or some trinket from royalty or, some billionaire, whatever, and sell out their own people. We have them here too. We have the Clarence Thomas of the world. We have, whatever, Kanye, and we have the Ice Cube and the whatever. We have them here too. Any bit of clout or money or prestige, they will sell out their own people. It is so sickening. And what's sad about it, we have many in the black community who would follow them because, again, they have clout. Let's see. Diane Hawkins says, we can't leave this in the UK, but must continue to call this out, just like we do with the royal reporters and their usual tactics. Black people who allow themselves to be used like this once will do it again. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, Diane. I totally agree. I mean, now we know her, but how many others who have not said anything are doing it? And it's very interesting how many reporters, the Black reporters, are not really covering this, and they're not really talking about this. My question is, how many of them have done this exact same thing? And that's why it's, especially that's why we've been talking so much, especially about those people with the MBE, OBE, and all of those things, because again, it's the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. And they're taking these honors and they're like, oh, they are influential voices in the community, while they're taking money to destroy the community they're claiming to serve. And to what benefit? To white supremacy. Unbelievable. Because now the Daily Mail could sit back, with their face and names on these racist articles. They could sit back because why? Black people went in and did their dirty work for them. They can walk away scotch-free. They don't have blame for it. They're not being called racist. Why? Because a Black person was willing to sell out their own people. Unbelievable. Via Speak says those that allow themselves to be used for dollars would roll their eyes at streetwalker, but same behavior. They will find out they won't be needed when the agenda is fully exposed. Very true. Very true. I mean, I guess they do this kind of thing because they think they're going to get accepted in the white community. Like, yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, y'all going to find out. Let's see. Yulibi says sometimes we are our own worst enemy, trying so hard to enter a room that does not have a place for you, like that Black dude with Trump who is still in jail. Where's Trump? Nobody is bailing him out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The Black for Trump guy, when everybody else who's done all kind of stuff is out of jail. I thought maybe by now he would have gotten out, but I guess he's still in there. Yep. I don't see Trump bailing him out. He sacrificed, and not sacrificed, he allowed himself to get into a place where, whatever he did, was illegal for Trump, and now he's the one paying the consequence. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only one that end up, and the Black woman end up being the only one to do serious jail time. I wouldn't even be surprised at all. So, Geezy, hello, Geezy, the shooter. Okay, hello. Says, the white people are just using them, and after they're done with them, they will throw them out like trash. Yeah, exactly. Like dude in the jail right now. Like dude that is in American jail right now. Yeah. Beverly says, Nana and Dominique should be defending their race, and it's shameful that they are siding with the haters to bring down their own people. Yeah. Yep. We have the Candace Owens of the US that does the same thing. Yep, exactly. Because again, gatekeeping for white supremacy, because you assume, because they laugh at you at work and whatever, you're part of them. Right. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. Joyce says, when you see people like Dr. Shola who reports the facts and don't have to see out report the facts and don't have to see out their people to do that, it makes you feel sorry for Nana and Dominique. Okay, well, this isn't, I'm not sure what you mean, but I do know, like, Dr. Shola is one who would never put up with this behavior. She calls out racism. She is so hated on Instagram, on Twitter, because she calls out racism left, right, and center. And the white supremacists of social media hate her for it, because she will not back down. She will not stop speaking out about it. And these, especially Nana, usually attack Dr. Shola. And it's just, so, but, I don't know. Joyce feels some sympathy for Nana because, like, and you have to be so self-loathing to do what she does. So I just, I can't. A lot of times I cannot get past Nana's wig, so I just don't really think about her. It's just like, dude, I cannot get past that wig. Um, but Rebecca says, I have extended family who lives in the UK. Blacks in the UK do not have a seat at the table. No, they don't. And so some of them do this. The problem with this is, it's like Tyler Perry talks about it all the time. It's like you can basically sell your soul to be out, at someone's table, or you can or you can decide we're going to build our own table. And what is missing in this community in the UK is Black people coming together and building a table. Black people, whether you're in the US or the UK, are the largest consumer of entertainment. The largest consumer. So the largest amount of people most likely viewing the UK television content or whatever they're putting out are Black people. We just consume entertainment. It's who we are. And if Black community will come together and work together, which is what, it's so funny when I was begging those people to support Meghan, is one of the things I was asking, like, can you all come together? Yes, I know it's scary if one person do. Can you as a group come together and speak? The response, basically they're afraid. So they didn't say anything. And this is the thing with the UK. They have so much talent. Build your own table. Build your own table and call each other to support your table. But some try to get in, this way where they sell out their own people so they can just, I need to get mine. Forget about the rest of you. I need to get mine as long as I get mine. But to get mine, I need to sell you out to do it, which is where we are here. And I have to do whatever I need to do to lick the boots of white supremacists to get what I need to get for me. So Terry says, yes, fellow, the UK media outlets are doing it. It is norm for them. It's funny. Some, a couple of reporters, one girl, I forgot what her name is, but she was saying, oh, no, it's not norm. I don't think it's norm. I was like, well, maybe they're not norm for you, but she's experienced it. She says it's norm. Or maybe y'all know that it's norm and you don't want people to think that you're a part of that. Who knows? That could be the issue too. Anne Lewis says, so she needs to pay rent and maintain a certain lifestyle, so sell your soul. The bosses know these people's desperation because papers, as we see how your careers can be ruined. Yeah. Again, if you band together and speak out together, you could actually make a change. But again, the easy way out is take the money and sell out your people. Let's see. Black Queen says, cookies and cream, Herman Cain screaming from his grave is regrettable, in regrettable agreement with you. Yes, Herman Cain is another one in the US who sold out his people for Trump and then went to a Trump rally and was never alive again. Died, went to the Trump rally with no mask, whatever, and then died of COVID. And the sad part of that is he did all of this for Trump, and Trump has never mentioned this man's death. He has never honored him, nothing. And yet this man basically gave up his life for Trump, and Trump just was like, maybe he did it in private, but never once publicly mentioned Herman Cain's death, or even that he was in the hospital basically fighting for his life. I mean, again, yep. Unbelievable. Hilma says, I believe Nana has some serious mental issues. No normal person would wear wig. know. If only her biggest problem were her wigs, right? If only her biggest problem were her wigs. Um, let's see. Uh, Diane says the biggest problem in selling out is you'll always be living on your knees because somebody else will always be willing to be bought for less. Man, this is profound. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, I will never forget that woman who, when Prince Charles visited wherever center she was on her knees, the most humiliating thing that I have seen in a long time, probably ever. And that's what I see. That's what I see with these people. And again, it's not just them. You see them in government. One of the things that, and it's even, there was even an article that I did on a podcast, was an article from the UK that talks about how many in British institutions use women and people of color, black and brown people, to do their dirty work in government. You see it with the British government in the when you think of Home Office, the home secretary, like Suella Braverman, Priti Patel, and Suella Braverman, brown women. They put them in that position where they make the most disgusting, despicable, racist, abusive decisions about immigrants and about people fleeing their country to come to safety. They have made some of the most unbelievably horrible decisions. Talk about racist. Let's send the black people off to Africa, but let's cuddle and give them families, the Ukrainians. I mean, you see this sort of thing, and they put brown people, South Asian people in these positions. Because why? A white person in that position wouldn't get away with it because everybody would be calling them out as racist. But let's put a brown person, a black or brown person in that position. You're not, all of a sudden, when they do that to their own people, when they send other black and brown people off, to whatever African country they decide next, it doesn't look racist because it's a black person doing it or a brown person doing it. It's the same thing. It's the same pattern, and it's the same thing we're seeing now in the press. Let's put a black face. Let's put, the Trevor Phillips of the world to attack Meghan. Let him do it. So then we can wash our hands and say, see, we're not racist. It's a black person that said it. It's the same thing with those two black girls on GMB recently. One of them was on the one from the Piers Morgan show. Two black girls, one of them attacking Meghan. So the two the two white hosts of the show basically sat back and watched these two black women fighting each other, one of them attacking Meghan, and it's like, hello, you're also black, and they just basically sat back and watched them do it. And so now they can walk off with their noses in the air, wash their hands clean, because, see, we weren't racist. That's a black person, and she was the one that said it. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing to watch them do this. And they all do it. Oh, what did I say? Oh, did I not say Ukrainian? I'm sorry. I meant, how they house Ukrainians. If that's not what I said, maybe I said Iranians. I'm sorry. I meant Ukrainians. And in reference to this is a lot of families in the Ukraine took in Ukrainians who were running from the war. But then the people coming from different, black and brown people, whether it's from Africa or from Afghanistan or wherever they're coming from, they were all sent off to Africa. They weren't given the same, oh, well, you're here, you're also a refugee. Let me have, let's do a program where we have families take in people. They did it for the white Ukrainians. They didn't do it for the black and brown people coming over. And who they put over that policy? Black and brown person, South Asian, Suella Braverman, Priti Patel. Now they can claim, see, we're not racist. Their own people is doing that to them. So they can walk out, the white establishment, the they can walk away and be like, okay, I'm not, can't call me racist. Unbelievable. Anyways, let's not belabor that point. We're gonna move on from this their madness. Thank you so much, Bright Eyes PBJ, for correcting my error if I was incorrect in what I said. Okay, so back to Invictus and the heart of Invictus. Hope you guys have had a chance to watch it. I'm actually gonna sit down the rest of my day after this and go watch it again. So yeah, I'm not really doing much. I'm just probably gonna go to a cafe and just sit there and watch it again. Mark Orman MBE says, a day I will never forget. Watching Heart of Invictus on Netflix, I was reminded of just how special this event is for everyone involved. What We Are Invictus and Prince Harry have done for me and for many other servicemen and women across the world is beyond words. For me, the documentary really captures the emotion of the event perfectly. If you haven't watched it yet, I wholeheartedly encourage you to do so. And so I just thought that was really, really awesome for somebody who has been there, been to, and I think that's him, because that's the video that he posted there. So actually, I'm going to put the link to the video so you can see it as well. But it's just so great to see veterans speak up and speak out. Oh my goodness. What's his name? Malcolm Nance, who is a military here. He's also you could find him on like different news outlets like NBC and stuff like that. He also went to Ukraine to fought with the Ukrainian military against Russia, and he's back now. So one of the horrible UK reporters posted something really disgusting attacking Harry. And Malcolm Nance went after this woman, and I can't even post it, what he said to her, but he was basically defending Harry and, talking about Harry being a man and just being how amazing Prince Harry is. And he basically is like, Harry is not, basically he's like, you need to stop flirting with Harry. He is not here for you, basically. And so it was just, so it was really good to see military people not, allowing the British reporters and the British press to get away with some of the things they've been saying about Prince Harry. So it was just like, you go, Malcolm Nance. And the U.S. The different parts of the U.S. military who are sending people over to Invictus, they're all very excited. So they've been introducing some of the athletes to us. So this athlete is the U.S. Army ARCP says a little leg compression therapy after Invictus Camp track and field practice for Army retired Corporal Tiffany Johnson. Team US is working hard and we are ready to show everyone what we're made of. Tiffany Johnson. So that's Tiffany right there getting all set to go do track and field at the Invictus Games. And it's so exciting to see how the different military from around the world have been so excited getting their teams there. I think New Zealand is either there or on their way as well. We know Ukraine is there already. So teams are coming in. They are getting the stadium ready to go for next week. And it's just, such excitement going on around the games. And so, I'm assuming they got their volunteers, all stuff taken care of. So yeah, so very, very exciting. So I'm going to, obviously keep as much as they put out, I'll just keep sharing it so that way we see all the people. And then again, the games are going to be on their YouTube channel. So yes, very excited. So you call Tiffany Johnson, we will be supporting you. And my fave teams are the US, Nigeria, and I think I'm going to add Colombia. Obviously, we're supporting all of the soldiers, all of the vets, but I am biased and I do have my faves. My faves, the US, Nigeria, and I think Colombia. So I'm not sure Colombia yet, but definitely the US and Nigeria, and I think Colombia. So, but again, friendly wager, friendly competition, especially with the Duchess of Desire. Peace. She's like, we're on I'm the US, and she's like, we're Brits, So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. But anyways, and Team Nigeria, Says okay, Elias posted, says, counting the gains, the Invictus Games offer significant benefits for Nigeria. It enhances international visibility. It also promotes and boosts demand for Nigerian art and music. Finally, it improves the well-being of our resilient, wounded, and injured servicemen, soldiers. And so it is really cool to see how the Invictus Games is just not just helping the vets, but also really opening up their, to a whole new world of their art and their music. Who would have thought? So there you go. Invictus being, more than just the games. Their art and music is also being opened up to the world. So that's awesome. And Dusseldorf, just so you guys know, they have an app. So the Invictus Games, I'm going to put the link in the show notes so that way you can, if you don't already have the app, you can definitely go and then, you can do whatever it is you need there, whether it's schedules or what the events are and all of that stuff. You'll be able, or purchase stuff, whatever you need from the games, you'll be able to do it on the app. So yeah. And again, they're going to be streaming it live. Whether you're in the UK, you can do it on on YouTube or on their site. And yeah, so that way we can all be watching the games and be excited about it. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to stay in the chat for a couple more minutes, and we will be done. Yes, the fundraiser again. It's I think it's over 41,000 the last time I checked it. So it's probably gone up by then. So definitely, Church Nelly has it there on her post. So definitely go over there. And if you're looking for the fundraiser, Yulibi already has the app. So there you go. Yulibi has the app. So definitely, to keep up with all that's going on with the times, with the schedules and all of that, definitely you will find it on the app. Let's see what else is happening. Agnes, back to that. She says, British families took Ukrainian families with open arms. Yeah, exactly. Open arms. They literally had a program where people, it has different varying levels of success with, some, I remember one where the Ukrainian family was very racist. And so they left because I think they didn't like the fact that the community that they moved into had Black people. And it's just like, and I remember they left where they were staying. The family, offered their home, and they were afraid of Black people. I mean, and you're like, you just left a country where white people were literally killing your people. You come to a place where people openly welcome you, and you're afraid of Black people. I'm just like, but white people are the one that were killing you. I mean, I'm telling you, racism is just, it wipes you out of common sense. I really believe that it takes away your common sense, because it's kind of like you just ran away from your country where your white people are killing you. You come to a place and Black people have done nothing to you, and this community welcome you, and you're leaving because you're afraid of Black people who have done nothing to you. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there are situations where this man, I remember him leave his wife and gone with the girl that moved in. Again, varying degrees of success with this program, but they did have a program where they welcomed Ukrainians into families. Let's see. Agnes says, these fools need to get off TV. They shame us all. I'm assuming you're talking about Nana and Dominique. I mean, worse than shame. I mean, it's like, goodness. Talk about the basement having a basement. Cookies and Cream says, everyone, please continue to watch Heart of Invictus. Let us help it make it to #1. All those on social media, please help promote the Heart of Invictus docuseries and the Invictus Games. Of course, we are on it all over with it. So yeah. And again, understand too, with the Heart of Invictus, it's kind of niche in the sense of, not everybody is into military stuff, and but And sometimes people are afraid, or they don't want to deal with their own traumas, and so this could be a lot for them to, so people have a lot of their own reasons for, whether they watch it or not. And so it's not something that you would expect to have like major commercial success, in the sense of like, okay, the Harry and Meghan docu-series or something like that, because it's more of, oh, it's juicy gossip, that people could take out of it, like, oh, this is a gossip, or that, you know what I mean? They would look at it as something like that. This is not. And so this, because of the content, because when you watch something like that, a lot of times you have to deal with yourself, and you have to face your own, whether it's trauma, whether it's, your own PTSD, whether it's your own, whatever it is, you have to face. And a lot of people don't want to, and are not in a place where they feel like they want to deal with seeing themselves or dealing with their own pain and trauma. And so it's not going to have the kind of, say, we want to say, quote unquote, success, although you don't rate success. You can't, because they're so different, you can't rate them in the same way. It's like, oh my god, just as how many billions of people watch it? Yes, because people are, really curious about the royal family and what they did to Harry and Meghan. This is so different in the sense that when you watch it, you're going to have to deal with you, and a lot of people are not ready to deal with themselves, so a lot of people would have run from something like that. So you're not going to have the amount of eyes watching this as you watch the Harry and Meghan docu. So for me, I always have to balance it like that. It's like, yeah, because they're so different, and they speak to a different part of who we are. Many people, millions of people, would run to something that they consider gossip because, it makes their life not look as bad or whatever. But many people would run away from something like this, from like the Heart of Invictus, because they don't want to deal with who they are, and they don't want to deal with the pain that might come up. So yeah, so that's why I'm like, I don't get into like, oh, it's not successful, or oh, it's not. Yeah, it's like, yeah, because they speak to different things, So yeah, let's see a few more. Compton Caliga says, Harry probably on the grill, Doria picking greens, Meghan and the children making cupcakes. I could see it. I could see it. But I mean, I love their relationship. I really do. Yuliri says, racism is a mental disease. Tell me about it. I could not have put that in a better way. It really rots your brain. It really, really does. Diane says, light skin Harry is official. He can now make the Labor Day potato salad. Yeah, as long as he doesn't put raisins in it. I think he'll be fine. Pedal will be reporting live from Germany. I personally would not, because my plans of getting there kind of fell through, which was it has been very disappointing, and I've been trying to not be disappointed and be upset about it. But we do have one of our own that's going to be there that will be reporting for us. So I'm very excited. And when she does it, you'll see. But so yes, I don't. Every time I think about it, I get upset, so I tend to not. I was like, I'm just bite my tongue and not get upset, because it's very upsetting. I really had put my heart on going, and it just fell flat. It just fell apart. So yeah, that was just yes. Moving on. My grandmother says, sometimes you have to laugh to not cry. That's kind of how I feel about that. Let's see. Anne says, Invictus Games starts on the 9th to the 16th. Harry's birthday, the 15th. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Harry's birthday is on the 15th. Glad Meghan will be there, and they'll be supporting him there. So, yeah. Let's see, a couple more. Oop. Elaine Parker is watching for a second time. All right. So we need to binge watch this a few more times as squatties. We know whenever Harry and Meghan do things, we watch it like a billion times and shamelessly do it. And we shamelessly do it. So therefore, there you go. Let's see. Angela says, hello, Pedal and Squatties. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Labor Day. The guy that was in jail was bailed out. Oh, okay. So he's bailed out and he's still defending DT. Of course. He is American Nana. There you go. Of course. I mean, because, at this point, he's probably thinking, well, I can't turn around now because I look really stupid. So, you can, and, eat it. But again, a lot of these people are so arrogant, even though they know the path that they're growing is wrong, they will still keep going it because either embarrassment or whatever, fear of change. And it's just like, sometimes you're just going to have to eat crow and change. But they're going to keep going because they're arrogant. So there you go. And they're going to see, keep facing the consequences of their behavior. So there you go. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says, that's why I fight so hard for Meghan. She's a Black woman being disrespected and dehumanized on a global scale. It bothers me when people think she should ignore the abuse and be silent and just take it. Exactly. Yeah. Or stay in places where people do, like stay in the UK and take abuse. And it's just like, y'all people know, it's like when Meghan knows her worth. And when you know your worth, you know that you don't have to stay in those places. You can move like they did. So I am so happy to see that, they're happy doing what they're doing. And it's just like, you know what? You stay over there and be abusive. We're going to be over here doing our thing, So um, let's see. Anne Lewis says there were part of the Ukraine. There were part of Ukraine had no black. Okay. Do not forget, blacks training as doctors in Ukraine were not allowed on buses at the start of the war. They had to walk. Nigeria sent a plane for its period. Yes, I remember that whole drama happening. That they trained the trains and the buses of people trying to get out of Ukraine when the war started. And blacks they were not allowing them to be on the buses. I mean, they went through horror trying to get out of Ukraine. Students were there, locked. They had to basically lock themselves into university where they had very little food and electricity and all of this mess that happened and all of this racist stuff that came out from the Ukraine. So I remember, I'm sure a lot of us remember a couple years ago when all of this was going down, how horribly Black people were treated there. So yeah, that was when I was just like, you know what? I pray that y'all are able, but I couldn't. So I'm gonna have to stay away from that. I do support the military, the men and women who go to Invictus. Obviously they're veterans fighting for their country. So, but beyond that, I leave Ukraine to themselves. So, and I pray for peace that war ends because no matter what what they are, you don't want to see people just die. You don't want to see people just be killed because for whatever is happening there. So it just yeah. Anyways, I think that's it, guys. I think Little Mac, final one. Little Mac says, I doubt Meghan will be going to England anytime soon. Her face during the walk was hard to watch. You mean the last time they were there? Yeah, I mean, I don't expect her to, but then if she does, would I be shocked? No, I would not be shocked at all. I mean, look, especially when it has to do with family situations that are difficult. You're trying to be, you try to be family, but they are horrible people like the royal family. But but then again, it's your husband. It's I mean, I say to say I would not be surprised. It just again, it would be painful to watch if she were to go. But I wouldn't want her to go. I don't want either one of them to go. But again, when it comes to family, it's complicated. It is just complicated. And so I know how I feel about them, but I'm not related to them. So I'm free to say what I want to say. I don't have to, navigate their relationships with them. I don't have to navigate my children's relationship. You know what I mean? And then Harry's title and his still being, counselor of state. Now, I don't have to navigate any of that mess. And so I don't know what it's is like for them. So again, I'll just pray for them. Hopefully they don't have to. Hopefully she never goes to that place again. But would I be shocked? No. Again, so but anyways, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for our awesome moderators, Church Nelly, Lydia, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Thank you all so much again for always making this space troll free. Yes, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So thank you guys so much for your hard work. Thank you to all of you who are a member of the channel, our 2 Cents crew, including Church Nelly. Yeah, Church Nelly, 1 year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so much for just supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Thank you so much for just for your love, for your support, for just being here and hanging out with me. And so I'm not talking to myself. So that is awesome. And for those of you who support in the chat, there's super stickers, super thanks, donations. Thank you all so much. Again, you helped me to pay for all this stuff. So thank you. And I appreciate every single one of you. So anyways, and also some of you support via PayPal and Cash App. Thank you again so much. And so, yeah. So anyways, I will see you guys. I will chat tomorrow. Whatever else is gonna happen today, whatever else is going on in our Sussex world, I'll try to post it on our community page, or we'll chat about it tomorrow. So have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing for the rest of your Labor Day. Enjoy. I love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.